Welcome back to Life in Phoenix with Kelly, where today we're going to be talking about the fears of buying a home in Phoenix, Arizona. Today I wanted to address the concerns of buyers. So I put out a poll last week, and I also had quite a few different fears that I hear from my home buyers when either purchasing their first home, reselling a home. It all comes down to the qualified individual and how they're actually teaching you through the process. The first thing that everybody wants to know is what kind of financial commitment is this going to be? And that is a common fear. The down payment, the mortgage, closing costs and prepaids, and of course, utilities and ongoing expenses. That's why it's important to get with your real estate agent and make sure that you do as much diligence in the home inspection period as well as before you go out and start shopping for homes. You want to have a cost net sheet available to you. You also want to know what hard costs could come up and have a reserve fund to address those. This is one of the reasons that I sit down with my buyers before we start shopping to go over everything so that they feel comfortable and not fearful. That's where the fun begins. We are seeing that there are a couple areas in Arizona right now that are in a buyer's market more than a seller's market. We've been in more of a balanced market this last year, coming out of 2023 into 2024. January and February are usually pretty good times for negotiation. So if you're a buyer, you might actually take advantage of asking for some closing costs, prepaids, and assistance with a rate buy down if that's something that concerns you. Today's rates are concerning to a lot of people, but I think they're starting to see that rates haven't really moved a whole lot this last year. They went up, they came down, and we're settling right in at about 6.7. After 2022, I think a lot of people were very fearful, or that's at least what I heard, about the market taking a downward turn. Although that hasn't happened here in Phoenix, Arizona, I do think that there is time where we will see a little bit more correction over the next couple of months. That correction will probably still happen in areas that are a little bit outside of location, the city. Therefore, if you're looking in places like Queen Creek, Santan, Maricopa, Casa Grande, Buckeye, you probably can find a pretty good deal right now. In town, if you've got a desirable product and that product is priced correctly and also updated, they are sitting on the market for a shorter period of time. But again, it is not unusual to see a house sit the market for 60 to 90 days right now. It all depends on desirability, location, and of course, whether or not you have updates and upgrades to that home. I know it's kind of a buzzkill. Everyone thought that we were going to see a market crash, but we haven't seen that. Now, that's not to say that one won't happen or can't happen, but so far it hasn't happened. The leveling out has been a blessing for buyers. A lot of them are back in the market space and ready to look. Another common fear is hidden defects. What if the home has a faulty AC, the roof is going? All of those things are critical and they really cause a lot of fear for certain buyers, especially first-time home buyers. And that is why we do a 10-day due diligence time frame for the buyer to inspect the property and any of the elements that would need a separate inspection, like a pool, a roof, air conditioning unit or HVAC, landscape, and other. Another common fear is mold in a house. So you can have a mold inspection done, and usually an inspector will also come with a great recommendation for a mold inspector. One thing to note would be water damage in the house. If there is water damage, you see it in the ceilings, underneath the sinks, that would probably be a red flag for you to want to order some sort of mold testing. In the 10-day due diligence timeframe, it is your timeframe as a buyer to inspect out anything that you would like to, including the utilities. Sometimes it's possible to get the utility averages from the gas company, electric company, and of course the city. If you're not on city services, it's also going to be a great opportunity for you to look at things like a shared well or well, and that's where things get tricky. So make sure you do your diligence on the shared well or a well. Roof, AC, these things all add up very quickly along with pool and pool equipment. In my initial buyer assessment, that is also why I go over having a cushioned and padded home fund for home repairs, just in case something comes up. And oftentimes I will recommend getting a home warranty to cover all appliances, your pool, and extra roof coverage if needed. I highly advise this for people who are on a tight budget or may not have a whole lot of reserves left after purchasing their home. Buyers are also generally concerned about the cost of upkeep and repairs going forward. So anything you can do to put aside some extra money is going to really benefit you in the long run, especially if you turn your property into a rental property. Another fear, safety, and neighborhood quality. Many buyers fear purchasing a house with a crazy neighborhood, so I always recommend that you go morning and night to the property, drive around, talk to people, knock doors if you want to, and also return on the weekend to see what the dynamic looks like on a Saturday and a Sunday. We also have a PDF in the description with the Arizona Buyer's Advisory Guide that will give you all the information that you need to know about sex offenders, safety, and crime rates in your area, as well as schools and all sorts of wonderful information that will help you with your home purchase. If you like the information that I'm sharing, please like and subscribe to my channel, as well as share this with your friends. Another common fear is resale potential. Many people fear that they won't be able to sell their home for top dollar if they're not in touch with location. And a lot of people don't know this, but you will have a higher appreciation typically if you are on water in Arizona, meaning a lake or a body of water, a golf course, or you back to a place that does not have neighbors behind it. Those are desirable, but you really want to pay attention to location. When it comes to townhomes or condos, you're going to want to pay attention to the homeowners association fee, and you're also going to want to look at the overall amenities of a community, its reserve fund and budget, and you might just do a little extra calling around to their homeowners association to get that information up front so that you don't have any surprises in that inspection time frame. Another scary process or fearful process for most people is the process in the beginning called the mortgage pre-approval process. Buyers have this innate fear about securing a mortgage because they feel that they may not have good enough credit for that mortgage. Most people are pleasantly surprised because you can do some things to rapid rescore if it's a problem, and that's done very easily. It does not take very much time, so get to it right now. That is something that I see most commonly when people talk to me about mortgage application. Pre-qualification is not that hard, you guys. Don't be fearful. They only want a couple items from somebody who has a standard W-2. And if you're a W-9 or 1099, you might need a little bit more documentation. Sometimes a common fear of our buyer is buyer's remorse as well. Paying too much for a property or making an offer on a property and then another property becomes available and you're stuck. But you actually do have that first 10 days. If you see something that you feel like you can't live without, you can actually back out of that contract for any reason. You may not like the color of the carpet in the house and you can back out. But if that other property comes on the market and you feel like it's a better general fit for you, you can back out during that 10-day home inspection period. If you find a more suitable property, you just go for it. I highly discourage rushing the process. Your buyer's agent is going to work diligently and proficiently for you to find the home that best fits your needs, not theirs. So make sure you communicate clearly what you love and what you do not like about properties. That way they can get a feel for your likes and dislikes. A buyer's agent is going to be your patient and informative representative, and you will want to use them to their fullest. Ask questions, make sure that you are always looking ahead. They will be looking ahead, and that way you can tackle any incoming problems together as a team. The best thing about a buyer's agent is their ability to see things that are coming and jump those hurdles without you even feeling it. Have your buyer's agent run beautiful comps for you so that you know exactly what that value is and where that appraisal might come in at, and that will relieve a lot of fear and stress as well. Appraisal is a common contingency in the state of Arizona on our AAR contract, and that is one area that I nail. I absolutely love doing comps. Your agent will also pull proficient comps for you so that you don't have to worry about that appraisal. If you're paying cash, that won't be a problem. Sometimes buyers are concerned also with the legal or contractual obligations of writing their offer. And you do have to be concerned with your 3 contingencies, but those are also very protective to the buyer. You also have an appraisal contingency. If the house doesn't meet value, you can back out if you do not come to agreement and the seller lowers their price. People were paying above appraisal value back in the boom, but they are not doing that anymore, and appraisals are coming in conservatively. So if your appraisal comes in high, you're in good shape. You also have your amazing finance contingency, which goes down to the very last 3 days of closing. So if for some reason you did not actually qualify for that loan, up until 3 days before closing, you will still get your earnest money back and you can back out of the contract because you can't actually get finance. Don't go out and buy anything on credit or use a lot of cash before you are purchasing your home. That is a very big no-no. That's a very common mistake, to go out and start spending before your house closes. No, no, no. Addressing these common fears through research, diligence, and of course, working with a trusted real estate professional, conducting your due diligence, seeking guidance from your financial advisors, legal advisors, and of course, talking with other home buyers that have had great experiences can obviously ease your fears with buying. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to call me, text me, or email me anytime. And I hope that I am the agent to help you find your very first home or your next one. Thank you for joining me this week on Life in Phoenix with Kelly. We will be back next week talking about what you can afford for under $550K in the city of Scottsdale. Take care.